when you think of the phrase divine providence in your life, looking back on it, hindsight at the age of 67, what do you have to say?
Okay. It's like the little engine that could answer you're not going to like, right? Because it's sort of simplistic, but I've lived my life and I've seen the blessings of God that flow from doing his will and doing it as best you can and failing, and the incredible blessings that come from it. So, I mean, it's as simple as that.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish I could say I've got this great theological or philosophical thing. It's just, I'm a witness, right? I mean, I'll tell you story after story after story of loss after loss after loss, and how God has blessed me so much from that losing.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll talk a lot about that in the next show, but it's like I was at a retreat the other day for our company, one of my companies, and there's some Protestants there, and we were sort of getting back and forth, and I just said, I'm just not smart enough, right, to do this whole theology thing on my own, right? That I just sort
of—
It's
a good answer to Protestants.
I just accept that there are a lot smarter people who thought and prayed and were in the presence of our Lord that know this better than I do. And my job is to be obedient. I mean, that's really it, right? God came to found a church. He didn't come to do anything but found a church, right? He didn't write the Bible, right? He came to found a church. And so that's the church he founded. These are the people he trusted. I'm in, right? And I'm not going to think too much about it other than try to be obedient to what the church teaches. And sort of the same thing, which is I'm not going to think that hard about great things like divine providence. I'm just going to do it.
Right.
And,
that's good.
And so people ask me all the time, how did you plan your life? I said, I didn't plan. I don't plan anything. I really I didn't plan to run for Congress. I just did it. And it was the stupidest thing I could have ever done, but I won. Right. I mean, the chances of me winning that race were just never, I mean, my wife, I met my wife when I was practicing law, and I wasn't supposed to be in the office that day, but I happened to get home early from a thing because someone canceled a thing I was doing. And so I got home and I wasn't going to go to the office, but I thought, I'll just clean off my desk so I'm not, because I'd been gone a few days. And I got there, and the person next to me in my office, I shared a secretary, was said, I'm so glad you're here. I'm supposed to go and take this recruit out to get her to join the firm. And I said, but I'm really busy. I said, nope, just here, leaving. Sorry, can't help you. And literally, it was like, it's the Bible story of, knocking. And she finally came in and she was in tears. And she goes, I'm going to, yeah. I said, okay, fine, I'll do it. And the person who's the recruit was my wife.
Oh, man.
Okay. And did I plan that? Did I do anything to deserve that? No. And so I just, but when you see it, when it sees it, when God's called you, just do it. You think through it. No, I don't. I mean, I ran for president, just to understand. I lost my race in 2006 by the largest margin of anybody in the incumbent in the United States Senate in 30 years. I lost by 17 points. 3 years later, I announced I'm running for president.
You put it like that.
Who does that? Right? No, nobody does that. Right? And so the point I'm making is it's just, you can't, you just don't overthink it.
Yeah.
Right? Just try. And now I would say this, that you're probably going to have a better understanding of what God's call for you in your life if, number one, you're well-formed.
Yeah. So
your conscience has some understanding of what right and wrong is and what God's call of your life is. Number two, that you're prayerfully close to him. One of the things I always found out is that when I sort of had this transformation is that God speaks in whispers. And the closer to him, the more clearly you're going to hear that whisper. And if you're far away, you may not hear it at all. Or if you do hear it, you may not hear it correctly.
Yeah.
And so, prayer life is important. Sacraments are important. All those things that keep you in touch, right?
Yes.
And that formation to be able to judge what's real and what's not. And after that,
don't worry too much.
Just don't worry too much about it. If you're doing what God's calling you to do and you have a rational basis for doing it, it might not be. I mean, I might have been wrong. Maybe God didn't want me to run for president. You know what? If you're out there doing the right thing for him, doesn't matter whether he actually called you, because you're doing the right thing for him. Right. He'll bless it.
Hey, thanks guys for checking out the Conor Gallagher Show. Please take a moment to like, subscribe, or comment, or whatever you got to do to support it. And I appreciate that very much.